Hi, I'm Chuck Colson with this week's 2-minute warning. You know, sometimes I wonder whether it's a good idea to read the newspaper just before going to bed, especially if the article is about government spending. A few weeks ago, I was reading an opinion piece in the New York Times by Wall Street executive Steve Ratner. The title was enough to get my attention: "The Dangerous Notion That Debt Doesn't Matter." The article is accompanied by a graph that is downright scary. It compares the median household income with household share of the national debt. Here it is. Take a look for yourself. You can see that in 1975, the median household income of Americans was $44,762. Actually, a lot of money back then. The per household share of the national debt was only $20,564. Now look at today. The median household income is $50,876. Not much growth from 1975. But the share of the debt per household, folks, go get the Pepto-Bismol, it's $84,793. Let's put this in perspective. 37 years ago, the government's debt per household was less than half of the median household income. Today, the debt per household is 1.7 times larger than the median household income. Flat growth, soaring debt, folks, completely unsustainable. The bill will come due, and we won't be able to repay. We're dooming future generations of Americans to insolvency. From a Christian point of view, this irresponsibility is beyond the pale. The whole Protestant work ethic that built the West in this nation is in a shambles today. How quickly we forget these simple principles for success. Avoid debt. When you have to incur debt, pay it off quickly. Work hard. Save for a rainy day. Delay gratification. Practice self-restraint and self-responsibility. If this isn't an economic repent or perish moment, I don't know what it is. Well, once I finished reading Ratner's op-ed, my evening was ruined. I turned in with a nightmare debt scenario in my head, and after tossing and turning, I drifted into a dream. There were the presidential candidates debating on TV. All but one blathered on with well-rehearsed lines about jobs and taxes and this and that, same old canned lines. Then one of them stepped forward and said, "We're going to cut $1 trillion out of the spending of the federal government over a period of years. No matter the political cost, we're going to come to agree on changes in Medicare. We're going to fix Social Security. We'll get rid of earmarks. And we're going to clean house and get rid of redundant government agencies." Then he said, half the money we save will be put into paying down debt and the other half into needed infrastructure. The other candidates glared at him. But the audience cheered wildly, and the media sang his praises. And the next day, Democrats and Republicans were found shaking hands across the aisle. Well, of course, the K Street lobbyists went nuts. They knew their glory days were over. Oh, it was a great dream, but it didn't last long. I woke up and I stared at the ceiling, and I wondered, is it possible? Can any leader have the guts to take on the special interest and actually lead this me-first, want-my-share-of-the-pie generation of Americans back to fiscal responsibility? Well, man can dream, can't he? That's this week's 2-minute warning. I'm Chuck Colson.